Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, everyone's favorite internet mercenary. Now some people might hear that and say, Jason, you need to get a life. I say, no man, you need to get a life on the internet. But now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. I'm going to keep a straight face here. Time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And some people have awared me of Kinobody, aka Kinobody, aka Kenobi the Wise One, making an absolutely ridiculous commercial with the word Pish Posh in the title. So let me just go ahead and put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Because when I saw the video, I watched it, and I'm like, this commercial, I'm like, this is some of the cringiest shit I've ever seen. And I mean, Kinobody is known for his cringiness. He's known for his cringiness, and it's kind of, he almost markets it in a way, successfully markets it. And what was funny is that I went to read the comments below, and I actually thought that in my head. There were tons of people, wow, this is ridiculously cringy. And it was pretty bad. Now, I don't want people to think I'm being hypocritical, because I understand some of what I do. A lot of what I do is cringy, but it's a different type of cringy. You know, I embrace my own awkwardness. I embrace my awkwardness. I embrace my nerdiness, being a gamer nerd. I mean, even the +5 out of weaponsmithing. You know, fly your freak flag, baby. It's all good. It's all good. And, you know, for me, that does appeal to a certain audience out there. A lot of gaming nerds who maybe want to get into lifting. That appeals to them. You know, I have my own niche markets. Older guys who see me on here just having fun doing my thing, who are like, man, this guy, I'm getting close to his age. I can't lift what he lifts. I'm feeling beat up, banged up. I want to be where he's at least in terms of strength and being able to be active without getting hurt. Maybe I should pay attention. This guy's lifting a lot of weight for his age and not walking around all banged up and destroyed. So, you know, I mean, I've got a couple different niche audiences, but my cringiness appeals to a certain crowd. But so does Kinobody, and it's a lot of what he markets, because the video, or the commercial, I guess it's both, it was like he kept going, Pish Posh, Pish Posh. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but it was an ad, I guess, for his Kino Octane, which is like his energy product, and he's talking about, you need a product for energy. And, you know, the way he would do the Pish Posh was so effeminate, and it really kind of fits with his whole metrosexual, gender fluid thing he does, which is really a lot of what it is. And he tries to appeal to a lot of these guys, I think, because you can tell that he has his own social awkwardness. It's very apparent that he's extremely cringy. But you know what? I can't talk. I am to a certain extent myself, and I accept that. But the thing is that I think the reason he appeals to a lot of these guys is that he tells them, hey man, you can be cringy, and as long as you're slightly pretty and maybe you build a nice pretty physique, you can still have all these beautiful models in a Lamborghini. It's like he sells this whole lifestyle, knowing that in spite of his cringiness, and in spite of the fact that he's got money and comes from a wealthy family, he still has to pay all these chicks to hang around. It's a false marketing in a way, and it's almost comical, but it's what he does. It's what he does. And I'm not going to lie. It actually has worked for him as a marketing tool. It really has. But the video itself was just so ridiculous. Like, I didn't even understand the point. It's like I didn't understand the whole Pish Posh thing. It was just weird. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. But, you know, again, having all the hot babes around at the mansion and everything, doing his whole trying to play Bruce Wayne. I thought it was pretty funny overall. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a comedy piece. But I guess the real seriousness of it is that, you know, Greg actually, in certain ways, is pretty clever at his marketing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hate on the fact that he's a clever marketer. What I'm going to hate on is the fact that, again, the guy's pushing supplements, not training legs, all this nonsense. And what bothers me is that this is a guy who did break into the industry early on saying supplements are a ripoff, they're a waste of money, which is true. And I can respect the fact that he took that stance early on, but the fact that now he's pushing them, it makes him just as bad as all of these other jackasses in the industry. Any guy out there who's really pushing products and supplements, you know, whether it's pre-workouts or BCAAs or all this stuff, I'm sorry, man, that's a con. That's a scam. None of that has anything to do with fitness, and none of that is going to help anyone reach their goals. But that's like my concern is he's gone in that direction, from admitting that supplements are a waste of money to cranking out his own extremely overpriced pretty much useless products. I mean, borderline useless. I'm not saying they're completely useless, like some of them have creatine and stuff. Creatine works, but he's got $1.50 worth of creatine in a $40 tub. You know, that's, I mean, are we really going to say that works? Yeah, it works like a $1.50 product does. You know, you're not getting a good value there, but I mean, that $1.50 worth of creatine is worth every bit of that $1.50 in that $40 tub. So you've got all that to deal with, but the other thing is now he's talking about you need an energy product that doesn't give you the jitters and is not a stimulant, and it's like, that's the reason people take pre-workouts. They want a stimulant. They want to get high. They want a buzz. That's the reason for pre-workouts. They do not help you with your gains in any way. It's been proven with data, research, and common sense should dictate a lot of that. Guys just want to be stemmed out, and that's where I'll give Muscle Metrics credit. He admitted that when he was making one before his channel got taken down. You know, that they're for people who just want to be really stemmed out. They're for stem junkies. Okay, so that's just a buzz. That's a high. You know, like some people like to drink alcohol. Some people like to smoke cigarettes. Some people like to smoke weed. You know, they want a buzz. Some people enjoy stimulants. But we need to not confuse that with actual benefits to you as a lifter, right? Or to gaining muscle, because that's not the case. So what he did, he's now got this one that's a no stimulant energy product, but it's like, this falls back into the classic trap of what the supplement industry has done for years. They create a problem and then they sell you the solution. Create a problem and then sell you the solution to the problem that they created for you. Gee, why would people who follow him have low energy? Could it be the fact that they're all intermittent fasting? You don't think that causes energy problems? And I want to be clear here before people jump up and say, how can you say intermittent fasting, it doesn't work? It works as a form of caloric control. I am not going to deny that. For certain people, not everybody, depending upon the demographic you fit in, is it a viable method to help with dietary adherence and caloric control? Absolutely. Have thousands and thousands of people successfully used it as a tool for dietary adherence and caloric control when they're trying to manipulate body composition or lose body fat? Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be, depending upon the person, just like anything else when it comes to dieting, can be an extremely valuable weight loss tool for a lot of people. I'm not going to deny that. I think everyone's going to agree, even the people who utilize it. You guys are going to agree with me there. If you've been using it to lose fat and it's helped you, then you're going to say, well, yeah, he's right. He's right. It can be a valuable tool for that. It doesn't have magic properties beyond the caloric control. And as far as body recomposition or gaining muscle, it can impact you negatively. All right, I want people to understand that. Long fasting windows with shorter feed windows for people who are actually trying to gain muscle is going to be a problem for you. It will be impossible for you to maximize muscle gain if you're doing a 4-hour or a 6-hour feed window every day. I'm sorry, you can't do it. Not saying you can't make some gains or even good gains, but you will absolutely never maximize gains, even with a large caloric intake. All right, I want that to be clear. If anything, if your goal is to minimize fat loss at a certain point, if you're eating a certain amount of caloric surplus and you're gaining less muscle, that's not good for reducing body fat gain, right? But you might end up eating less on your bulk anyways, which, you know, balances that back out, doesn't it? It's a tool of caloric control. That's it. As far as the other benefits, I'm sorry, the people who are pushing it for other health benefits, the data hasn't been particularly kind to that at this point. It really hasn't been. Yes, there's a few fringe experts promoting it, but the rest of the data is so far not showing that these hypothetical benefits actually exist. So now he's created all this fasting, and he has people fasting all the time, and then their energy is a little low, and he wants to sell them an energy product to help with the energy. I don't know, guys, why don't y'all just, you know, not fast as long every day? Why don't you just have a longer feed window? And I guess the other question becomes, if you're in a caloric deficit and your fasting is helping you with your caloric deficit, maybe you have low energy for a reason. Do you realistically expect to be super hyper when you are in a caloric deficit? Probably not. Do you really think that using a product to try to push your energy levels up when you don't have food available or enough calories available is particularly ideal? That's probably not ideal for your overall recovery. You got to strike a fine balance here. And what I would say to people is that, realistically speaking, if you decide you're going to be using a fasting protocol for fat loss, you need to just accept that maybe you're not always going to have all the energy that you want. And guess what? People who are in a caloric deficit at all who aren't fasting, you know what? Your energy can become a little sluggish when you're losing body weight. That's normal. That's normal. Welcome to reality. It's normal, it's expected. You shouldn't have to go buy a $40 product to try to reverse a perfectly normal situation. It just is what it is. But the whole point there is that he's creating the problem, and then now he wants to sell people the solution. Pish, Posh? I don't know, man. But in any event, the whole concept is kind of ridiculous. The commercial was pretty cringy, but you know what? Is it probably going to work for him? Yeah. I mean, in a way, Alan, and that's his real name, Alan markets cringiness. I mean, he does market it. You know that, hey, you can be cringy and socially awkward and still be surrounded by hot bikini babes and live in a mansion and drive Lamborghinis, baby. It's all good as long as you got them abs and mommy's money, and then use that to start a successful business and pay the models to hang around. You can be there too, baby. But really, it's all about the abs. Pish, Posh. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.